Maya just logged on.
I think, yep, got her. Thank you. Okay, folks, so we are moving on today. Hopefully you had time or you made time, not had time, because with everyone being at home, we have nothing but time. I hope you made time to watch the lesson 15 video because we're starting something new today. Who knows what the lesson, someone that did not meet with Miss Gabine, who knows what we're moving on to today? We should have all hands should be up. All hands should be on deck. Finn?
Division.
You got it. So I'm gonna start today, and we're going to. Hopefully, this is a little bit of a review for most of you because I know division is not completely brand new. So we're gonna watch two. We're not gonna watch the whole thing. Two very short videos.
All right, Jagoons, we did it. We got away with 3 of the biggest capers in history. When we get back to the hideout,
Can you guys hear okay?
We'll all be rich. Rich, I tell you. When we're through, boys, we'll all be driving new Packards and listening to the biggest radios they make. Okay, first order of business. Let's divide the loot from the first job. Hot diggity, just look at all that ice. We got diamonds, 20 of them. Now let's see, there was 4 of us participated in the heist. Crusher, Bruiser, Moby, and me. If we divide things up equally, we each get... Wait a second, how do we divide 20 diamonds evenly among 4 people? Well,
so who can tell me, what's that mean if you want to divide something evenly? What does it mean to divide something evenly? Carson?
Dividing it by rows.
Well, what does the word dividing mean? If I said I want to divide something between me, you, Maria, and Tanya, what are we going to do between the 4 of us if we're dividing something?
Each other gets at least 5 of them.
Okay, well, you're telling me what I'm doing, but what does it mean? Use a different word. Don't use divide. Here is, I think they have diamonds. I'm going to blank these diamonds between the 4 of us.
Split.
Split them up. Very good. And Carson, if I want to split them up evenly, what does that mean?
You want to divide them.
But how do I do it evenly? That would mean everyone would get the what?
The same amount.
The same amount. Very good.
Well, yeah, we need to use division to figure it out. Division is basically the splitting of large numbers into equal groups of smaller numbers. In our case, we're trying to divide our loot in between the 4 of us so that we have an equal share. Well, in division, all these numbers have special terms. The number being divided is called...
Anyone know that the number that's being divided, so what we're starting with, the big number, is called the what? So just like we have factors and a product in multiplication, the number that we start with in division is called what, Brian?
Dividend.
No, not the one we start with. Do you have another suggestion? Tanya?
Divisor.
No. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm getting myself mixed up. Yes, you are correct. I was starting with the end in mind.
Here,
Dividend.
is 20 for 20 diamonds.
There we go.
Sorry,
ladies and gentlemen. If you're unmuted, make sure you mute yourself. So our big number that we start with is the dividend. And the number we're dividing by is the divisor.
And the answer you get is called the quotient.
Okay, so at your own homes, let's practice. Tyler, are you paying attention? Let's put the toys away or whatever you're playing with. So the number that we start with, I want you, you don't have to unmute yourself, but just I want you to say dividend. Go. Now the number that we divide by is the divisor. Say divisor. Go. And then our answer in a division problem, don't unmute yourself. The answer in the division problem is a quotient. Quotient. Say the word quotient. We're going to be using those terms.
5. So each of us gets 5 diamonds. Holy mackerel, 15 gold coins. Pretty soon we're all going to be dancing to Lindy Hop on the Queen Mary. Now let's divide them up. What's up, little Jimmy? Okay, fair is fair. You tipped us off this big score, so we'll divide these coins up 5 ways. Now let's see. How many times can we divide 15 by 5? Yep, you got it. We can divide 15 coins into 5 groups of 3 coins apiece. And you can check your answer by multiplying the quotient by the divisor. If your answer is the dividend, you've done it right. Let's see, 3 times 5 equals 15. Yep, we've got it. That's because division is sort of like the opposite of multiplication, in the same way that subtraction is the opposite of addition. And now for the last part of the haul. 21 pocket watches. Why, we'll be taking flappers to the Autobot until... Oh, geez it, guys, it's Lieutenant Rita. I mean, we just acquired these 21 lovely watches. And since there's 7 of us, including you and Sergeant Cassie, we could...
Okay, so if we have 21 watches and we're going to divide them between 7 people, how many watches would each person get, Maria?
3.
Let's see if you're correct.
Divide the loot 7 ways. Let's see, 21 watches for 7 people. 21 divided by 7 is 3.
Very good.
So that's 3 watches apiece for each of us, including you 2.
Okay, so that was an introduction to the new terminology. But now we're going to watch a short portion of this video to see what you would do if there's something left over. So if you can't always make equal groups.
Grace, do you want to play a game with me? First, we have to divide these cards equally. How do you make equal groups? We have 8 cards. There are 2 players. How many cards do we each get? Divide the cards into 2 equal groups. We each get 4 cards. You can also write a division sentence to solve. 8 divided by 2 is equal to 4.
Who can pick out one of these numbers and give me the term that corresponds with it? The 8, the 2, or the 4? Ilea, pick one and tell us what word we just talked about.
8.
What is the 8 called in a division problem? The number we start with, the biggest number.
The divisor.
No. Try again. The divisor is the number we're dividing by. We're talking about our whole here, what we start with. Carson?
The dividend.
Very good. Noah, the 2 or the 4, pick one out and tell me which word corresponds with that number, the 2 or the 4. Noah, unmute yourself.
The 2.
What's the 2 called? The number that we're dividing by.
The
Getting back to what I just told Ilea with her first guess. Tessa, do you remember? What's the number that we're dividing by called?
The dividend?
No, the 8's the dividend.
Oh, the divisor?
Very good. And then Briley, we're left with 4 being what? The answer is called the I can hear a little louder. Not quotation, the quotient. Try again, say quotient. Very good. So we have dividends, what we're starting with. What we divide by is the divisor, and our answer is the quotient.
You can
So this
also
one
write
we
it
could
another
make
way.
equal groups. And this is just showing you 2 different ways. You can have this basic division symbol. You can have this bracket. And if you're writing it on the computer, you can also use the backslash to show division.
Becca, do you want to play? We have 8 cards, but now we have 3 players. How many?
So if you have 8 cards, Izzy, and you have 3 players, are you going to be able to distribute them equally and not have any left over?
no.
Okay, let's see. Let's see what happens.
cards do we each get? What is 8 divided by 3?
So let's also think of this. Sarah, does 3 times anything give us 8?
No.
No, because 3 times 2 is what?
6.
Which is too little. What's 3 times 3?
9.
Which is too much. So 3 times nothing gives us 8. So that should be your first clue that you're going to have something left over.
Divide the cards into equal groups to figure it out. Uh-oh. We can't divide them equally. How can you divide amounts that do not make equal groups? We each get 2 cards, but there are 2 left over. You can't divide 8 by 3 equally. The remainder is the number left over after dividing 2 numbers.
Okay, so the number that we have left over is the remainder. At home, I want you to say remainder. Go.
3.
Carson, I know you're just lip singing. I know you're not really saying it.
Remainder.
There you
write the
go.
number that
3.
doesn't divide equally. We each got 2 cards. Then you write the remainder. There are 2 cards left over. The R stands for remainder. Colin is having a birthday party. There are 7 party favors and 4 people. How many favors does each person get? How many are left over? To find out, divide 7 by 4. Each person can take 1 favor. There are 3 left over. You can also write it this way. Mia has 16 photos.
So I'm going to go
Each
back
page of
here.
her photo album.
We're going to pause it right here. Oh,
You can also write it this.
okay, if we look at both of these equations, Peyton, how would I read? Sometimes it gets confusing because the numbers you see, they're like in different orders. You have a 4, a 7, and this number up here, and then a 7 and a 4. How would I read this equation? Do you know? If you use a bracket, how you would read this? Peyton, how would I read this? No, I don't think it's working. Nina, do you know how I would read this equation?
4 times 7 equals.
Well, remember, this
1.
is division. So, but if you would say 4 times 7, what is 4 times 7, Nina?
4 times 7 equals 28.
So having
So-
one remainder 3, you should know that's incorrect. So this is division. So let's think about this. If you take four cherries and split them up between 7 people, would everyone get 1 with 3 left over?
Yes.
I have 4 cherries
Wait.
and there's 7
No.
people.
Everybody wouldn't. They wouldn't get. You wouldn't
Okay,
do
so
that.
you wouldn't read this as 4 divided by 7. You want to start down here inside underneath the bracket. And this is read 7 divided by 4 equals what?
1 with the remainder of 3.
Very good. Riley Roach, go ahead and read this equation.
Seven divided by 4 equals 1.
Not just 1. You have all this here.
Remainder is 3.
Right. So both of these equations are saying the same thing. They're just written different ways. Okay, so those are our 2 short little review videos about division. So today, the must-do problems begin on page 75 in your student workbook. So go ahead and get your student workbook open to page 75. Olivia, go ahead and read the directions on page 75.
Show division using an array. Show division using an area model.
Okay, so we're going to show 2 different examples here. Can you guys see my paper right now? My book, my hand? Shake your head. Someone shake your head. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so the must-do problems
Yeah.
2 through 5. So we're going to start with, let's start with number 1 instead. So we have 18 divided by 6. So this one I'm going to kind of guide you through, and then the next one I'm going to have you guide me. Sophia, I'm going to start by making groups of 6. So you're going to watch me make my group of 6, and I want you to help me skip count by 6s, okay? We're going to skip count until we hit to 18. So my first group is how many?
6.
Okay. Now,
12. 18.
okay, I hit my goal right on the money. 6, 12, 18. Sophia, do I have any left over?
No.
Okay, so my quotient, my answer would be what? What's 18 divided by 6? I have 1 group, 2 groups of 6, 3 groups of 6.
Quotient will be
So right here, I have 18 dots. I put them into 6 equal groups, or I put them into groups of 6. Here's 1 group of 6, 2 groups of
3. Sorry, 3.
3. So I have 3 groups. So up here, I could put 18 divided by 6 equals 3. Maria, do you know how we could use multiplication to check to see if we're correct?
Yeah, you could do 6 times 3.
I'm going to go backwards. So I'm going to do, let's put a check mark here to say that we're checking. So I'm just going to work backwards. Maria, what is 3 times 6?
18.
Does this match my dividend?
Yeah.
So I know I'm correct. Maria, do I have a remainder? Is there anything left over?
No.
Nope. So I have an even answers. I was able to make 3 equal groups. So we're going to use the same problem, 18 divided by 6, and we're going to show division using an area model. What do we remember? We've been using this term a lot this year. What do you remember, Nevaeh, about the word area? How do you find the area of something?
Length times width.
So right here, I'm going to put area equals length times width to remind myself. So I need to show 18 divided by 6. So I'm going to start with my number 6, and I'm going to count down 6 squares. One, I'm going to actually use, you can keep using your pencil, but I'm just going to use a highlighter so you can see what I'm doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the length of my rectangle is going to be 6 units. I need to have a total area of 18. So this row right here gives me how many units? How many units do I have colored in here, Sarah?
6.
Okay, Sarah, if I color in another row, what's my area now?
12.
What if I color in another row?
18.
Okay, which needs to be my total area. So Sarah, what's the length of my rectangle?
6 units.
Well, I had that as my width. What's my length?
3 units.
3 units. So I want you to go ahead and count how many squares are inside this rectangle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I have an area of 18. So 18 divided by 6 gives us what? So if we're using that area model, length times width, what is my total area, Sarah, of this rectangle?
18 square units.
18. Okay, what's my length?
3 units.
What's my width?
6 units.
Let's see if this equation's correct, Sarah. Does 18 equal 3 times 6?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is true. So now we can answer the question, can you show 18 divided by 6 with one rectangle? Were we able to show that, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, we were. So this one was a nice one to start with because we were able to make equal groups and there was not a remainder. So I'm going to scan the crowd. Did anyone have any questions so far? Okay, Colin, I'm going to have you help me with number 2.
Okay.
So Colin, my equation is 19 divided by 6. So this time I'm going to be skip counting by what number?
6.
Until I try to reach what number?
19.
So I need to get as close as I can to 19 without going over. So I'm going to make one row of 6, Colin. And just how Sophia did, I think I have 7. You're going to count for me. So what do I have right here? I have one group of
6.
what? Okay. If I make another group of 6, what comes after 6 with your list of multiples?
12.
Okay. So I'm not to 18 yet. So I'm going to keep going. What happens if I add another 6?
18.
All right. I'm still not to 19. What happens if I add another 6?
You get 24.
Uh-oh. Can I make another group of 6? Because I don't have 24. So what am I going to add? So I have 6, 12, 18. How many more dots do I add?
1.
1. So now I'm going to make some groups. So I have one group of 6. I have 2 groups of 6. I have 3 groups of 6. Can I make a 4th group, Colin?
No,
Why not? You're correct. Why not?
because it's not a full 6.
Right, I don't have a whole group. So, Colin, what would my quotient be? How many equal groups do I have?
3.
Do I have anything left over?
Yes,
How
1.
many?
1.
Very good. So, I'm going to put right here, 19 divided by 6 equals 3, remainder 1. So So I'm going to put an R and a 1. Does anyone think they know how they could use multiplication to check when we have a remainder? It's a little different. Anyone want to try it with me? I'll help walk you through it. All right, Finn. So we're using the opposite of division, which we know is multiplication. So where do you think I should start? So we're going to check.
6.
So we're going to work backwards. So my quotient is 3. What am I going to multiply 3 by?
6.
What does 3 times 6 equal?
18.
Okay, well, that's not my dividend, but so far I use the 6 and I use the 3. What do you think I do with the remainder when I'm checking?
Add it.
So what is 18 plus 1, Finn?
19.
Very, very good. Does that match my dividend?
Yes.
So we know we're correct. Great job. So you multiply your quotient by your divisor, and then you add your remainder. Okay, now we need to draw a picture. Bella, can you help me with my picture? Okay, so I know right here we need to see if 19 divided by 6 can be shown with one rectangle. So if I use my area model, length times width, I know that what parts of these, I know that 19 and 6 are going to be what parts of my equation?
The length and the width.
No, because then that means I would be multiplying these. So let's kind of stick them in. Here's my formula. So I know that, and let's kind of look above. Over here, remember, we had to do the opposite of division to find our area. So the big number is your area. So what's our big number down here?
19.
So that's going to go here. And then the 6 is going to go where?
After the equals.
Okay, so yeah, we can make that. It doesn't, length and width, it really doesn't matter. So we need to figure out what the width is going to be. So I can draw a length of 6 up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's my length of 6. Okay, so Bella, if I shade these in, I know that one group of 6 would give me what for my area? How many blue blocks do I have?
6.
Okay, if I make another group of 6, how many blue blocks will I have?
12.
How about a third group of 6?
18.
All right, what's my goal number, Bella? What am I trying to get to?
19.
Can I make another whole row?
No.
How many can I shade in on this last row?
A 1 block.
1. So, Bella, was I able to show 19 divided by 6 with one rectangle?
No.
No. So I had, what does this one block represent?
The width.
Not the width, right here. So we have a length of 6 and a width of 3. We can't count this block as part of our width because it's not a whole row shaded. So this one left over is called the what?
Remainder.
Very good. So down here where it says explain how you showed the remainder, how do you want to word this? Anyone have any ideas? How can we explain how we showed the remainder? What did we do? Noah, are you writing this down? You have your book in front of you? Show me your workbook. Let me see that you have it. Noah, show me your workbook, please. Okay, it's not opened. That's a problem. We're 32 minutes into class. Tessa, what did we do with our remainder? Look at our picture. How can we explain what we did?
I was thinking maybe like we know that there's 3 rows of 6, but then we had to get our total of 19. But we know that 3 times 6 equals 18. So we had to add the 1, and then that was 19.
Okay, so how we showed, could we put, we shaded 1 extra block?
Yeah.
Good. We shaded 1 extra block. Okay, if you happen to get a message from me that says, I'd like to see your journal pages, and you say, I was in class. Well, if I don't think you're participating and following along, then I am going to ask to see these, because this is your learning for today. We have to make sure this is done, or else I would never expect you to be able to do the homework for tomorrow or the exit ticket without doing some practice first altogether. Okay, let's go ahead and move to the next page. For these directions, it says to solve using an array and an area model. The first one is done for you. So here we have 25 divided by 2. Looking at this picture, let's see. Julian Pletcher, go ahead and unmute yourself. Julian, it looks like we're making groups of what with this array? How many do you see in each row? Look at the problem is 25 divided by 2. So we're making groups of what? It's right here, Julian. This is 25 dots. They're in groups of what?
2.
2. So now you're going to skip count by 2s as I circle these. Go.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22,
Yep.
24,
And then you have 1 left over. So it's 24 plus 1.
25.
Okay, there's our dividend. So now, Maria, I want you to count how many groups we have for me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
So our quotient is what, Maria?
12.
And you have 1 left over. So what's that called?
One remainder.
Very good. So over here with the area model, we have your 12 times 2. What is 12 times 2, Maria? Do you know?
24.
And then what do we do with this 1 over here just hanging out?
That's one remainder.
And then what do we do with our remainder?
You put it in the equation.
Oh, do I just do like this? 241?
You add it to
Very good. So Maria, what is 24 plus 1?
25.
And look at that. There we go. Okay, so this is another scenario where you're going to be able to choose. We just want to show that you can use both models to represent a problem. Hi, Ava. How are you? Good to see you. You want to help me with this one? Let's see if your volume works. Test it out. Say hi. Can't hear anything. Try muting and unmuting again. See if that works. Nope, we don't have any volume. Brian Davis, see if you can unmute yourself. Colin?
I was just gonna tell Ava what she could do in that situation.
Sure, go ahead and give a suggestion.
So in the menu where there's like mute, stop video, participants, chat, share screen, record, and reactions, there the up arrow next to mute, if you click that, then there should be 2 speakers coming up, 3 if you have headphones on. 1 is same as system, 1 is something else, 1 is something else. Try switching it to all of them, then switching it back.
Thank you, Colin. We'll see if that works. Okay, Brian, you're going to help me use an array to solve 29 divided by 3. So 29 is our dividend. We're dividing by 3. So we're going to skip count by what?
3.
Okay, so we're going to count by 3s until we can get as close to 29 without going over.
3.
And if I make another
Six.
group, okay,
6.
so,
9.
yep,
12.
yep.
15.
Okay, we're still far away. Keep going.
18.
Okay,
21.
okay,
24.
getting closer.
27.
It's 27 plus 3.
40. No,
honey,
30.
There you
30.
Okay, can I put another 3 here? Can I have 30? Should I have 30 here? Brian?
No.
No, it's too big. So I'm going to erase these. So I'm going to count 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. What do I put in my last column? I need
2 remainders.
I have 2 more. So now, Olivia, you're going to help me find my quotient. What am I going to do to determine what my quotient is?
Shoveled some today, so did Brian. Shoveled a little in front of the house, but Brian,
go ahead and mute yourself. Olivia, what am I going to do to find my quotient?
Multiply,
No, we're using this array.
divide 29.
That's what we did. That's what Brian just did. He put them into groups of 3. So now how do I get my answer? Think about what we did for the example. How did we get 12 here?
We got 12 by looking at the model and choosing or count. There were.
Okay, so tell me, what am I going to circle for this one in number 3, letter A?
3.
Okay, so here's one group. Every time I circle, go ahead and count for me.
6.
2, no,
Right,
one
2.
group of 3,
1 group,
2
2
groups.
group, 3 groups, 4 groups, 5 groups, 6 groups, 7 groups, 8 groups, 9 groups, and
So I have
2.
9 equal groups. And then what happens with these 2?
You add them to your remainder.
That is my remainder. So my quotient is 9, my remainder is 2. So up here, I'm going to put 29 divided by 3 equals 9R2. 9 remainder 2. Riley, how would I show 29 divided by 3 equals 9 remainder 2 using an area model?
You draw a rectangle.
And what would I label my
then-
rectangle?
On the top one, you would put 29.
No, remember 29 should be in the middle area.
You would put
Look up here. We have the
3 on
length
top.
is 12, the width is 2, and then I had my one remainder left over. So look at my equation. Those are the numbers that we need to use. So what would you label this short side?
3.
3. And think length times width. So to get my answer, I'm going to do 3 times what? What would my width be?
9.
And we know that's going to, what is 9 times 3?
27.
Okay, but my dividend is 29. So what do I need to draw in addition on the side?
Two squares.
2 little squares. And what do these 2 squares represent, Riley?
Our remainders.
So then I have 27 plus my 2 remainders equals what?
29.
Very good. And that's my dividend. Tanya.
I have to leave because I have an appointment.
Okay, just make sure when you get done later, when you get back, get on your Schoology and just fast forward to this point and just watch the end. We're only going to do one more problem, okay?
Okay, bye.
All right, thanks for letting me know. Bye. Okay, who wants to help me with the last one for today? Trace, I haven't heard from you yet. You're going to help me with my array. So my equation is 22 divided by 5. So I'm going to be drawing how many dots? So look here, look where my finger is. Here's my equation, 22 divided by 5. And if you're confused, look up above here. When we did 29 divided by 3, how many dots did we start with in my first row?
5.
So I'm going to start with 5. So Trace, that means I'm going to skip count by what number?
5.
Until I get as close to what as I can.
22.
Very good. Okay, so I have 5. When I add another 5, what do I get?
10.
What happens if I add another 5?
15.
Okay, how about another 5?
20.
How about another 5?
You can't because it will be higher than 22.
Too much. Very good. So Trace, if I have 5, 10, 15, 20, how many would I add in this last column?
2.
Very good. So now when I go back, I'm going to circle 1 group of 5, 2 groups of 5, 3 groups of 5, 4 groups of 5. So what would my quotient be? How many equal groups do I have?
4.
And what's my remainder?
2.
Very good. So Trace, I want you to finish this up for me. Great job. 22 divided by 5 equals what?
$24.
No. Think, if I had 22 of something and I put them into 5 equal groups, we wouldn't each have 24 because we started with 22. Look down here. 22 divided by 5 gave me what? Use what we did down here to help you. Like up here, we have 29 divided by 3 equals 9 remainder 2. Because my quotient is 9, my remainder is 2. So 22 divided by 5 equals
4.
just 4. Don't forget about this.
Andrea.
What's this, Trace?
0.2.
Not 0.2. No, we're not doing any decimal points. Look up here. We have, how do I read this? 9. What's that R represent?
Remainder.
29 divided by 3 equals 9 remainder 2. That's my quotient and my remainder. So now let's transfer that down to this example. 22 divided by 5 equals 4.
4 remainder 2.
Very good. 4 remainder 2. Okay, so Finn, if I'm going to draw an area model, I'm going to draw my rectangle, and you're going to use these numbers to help me label it. What would my short side be labeled?
Your short side would be labeled 5.
Well, I mean, it's not really going to be drawn to scale, but that's okay, because really, what's my other side going to be labeled?
4.
So it's not, we should probably switch those up just so it kind of looks like the picture, but in all reality, it doesn't matter. So Finn, 4 times 5 gives me what as my area?
20.
But my area is 22. So what do I do with my remainder?
You put 2 more squares.
Very good. Soren, are you drawing these pictures? Soren, are you drawing these area models? You have this in your book? Okay. So Finn, I'm going to take my 20 and what am I going to do with my remainder of 2?
Add it to the 20.
And 20 plus 2 equals?
22.
Very good, which matches up with our quotient. Okay, so what I want you to do, I want you to try number 5 by yourself after we get off today, because then tomorrow, that's what we're going to start with to see if you were able to do number 5 on your own. Okay? So let me see, I'm going to check your Schoology. On your Schoology today, we had to watch your lesson 15 video, and if you skip that, make sure you go back and do it. And then today we had the must-do problems. So if you're with me right now, you don't need to send them unless I message your parents and ask to see them. But you do have your lesson 13B sprint today. So that was your 1 minute of facts on that extended and some facts in your sprint packet on page 13B. Make sure you look at the top. Okay, so you have your first day of division finished. Okay, before I let you go, your final assignment for the day. I'm going to write a division problem down. You're going to pick one of the numbers and you're going to tell me what it's called. So you're going to use one of our new terms. Okay, I'm going to hold it up. I'm going to call your name. After I tell you you're correct, you can log off and work on number 5. Bella Watkins, go. So pick one of these numbers and tell me what it is.
The 1 is the remainder.
You're good. You can go. Tessa.
The 25 is the dividend.
You're good. Trace. Well, then unmute yourself. Don't just shrug your shoulders. We've been doing this the whole time. Unmute yourself and I'll help you. Okay, or just log off then. Okay, Colin.
The 6 is the divisor.
Yep. Carson.
25 dividend.
Finn.
1 remainder.
Peyton.
My headphones.
Peyton, you there?
I am. 4 is quotient.
Correct. Izzy.
25 dividend.
Good. Olivia.
6 divisor.
You got it. Ava. You're muted, honey. Oh, try Colin's trick again. See if it works. Sophia.
1 remainder.
Good. Maria.
6
The number
Divisor?
you're, yeah, say it again. The number you're dividing by.
divide. I had it in my head and then I forgot it.
Start, what were you going to say? Say the beginning.
Devise.
Sir.
Zer.
There you go. Good
Divisor.
job, Brian. Now, Trace, listen to what everyone's saying and see if it just listen. I haven't changed the number.
20
Just watch.
25 dividend.
Good. Tyler.
1 is the remainder.
You got it. Nevaeh.
Quotient.
Which one's the quotient?
4.
Yes. Carissa.
6 divisor.
Yes. Nina.
The 1 is the remainder.
Yes. Sarah.
25 dividend.
Good. Okay, Trace, try again. Can you get yourself unmuted? Pick one and see if you remember what it's called.
The divisor is 6.
Very good. The number you're dividing by. Good. Riley.
4 is the quotient.
Good. Briley.
The 6 is the divisor.
Yep. Ilea.
The 1 is the remainder.
Yep. Okay, Ava. Is your volume working now? Okay, we're going to do it this way. I'm going to say one of the words and you're going to hold up which number it is, okay? So which one of these numbers is the quotient? You got it. Very good. Okay, Noah.